obviously Bryce had a very impressive performance today. What did you make of, I suppose, the game as a whole and obviously his individual performance?
Well, I just think for an organization that we're trying every day to kind of carve out a new sort of identity, to get any sort of win in this league is really hard. This was an unusual back-to-back, basically with a day off. Like last week, we played Thursday, Saturday. We didn't play great on Saturday at home, and we gave Sydney all the credit. And, this week the guys really dialed in. We had a really good week of prep. I felt like we got better. And this being on the back end of flying all day yesterday, you're just a little fatigued. You got to do whatever you can do to get a win. At this point in the year, for us to be 5-1, to me, it's just a huge accomplishment for a new group. I say this every press conference. We've won different ways already, which is really, really important. We've guarded different ways. We are growing, and and obviously, it sure was nice to be on the other side of Bryce Cotton shooting the ball a whole bunch. We've all seen it. I felt it last year 4 different times. You guys can tell on the flight up here, I can't really hear my ears, and I got congested or whatever. So Bryce was talking to me in the fourth quarter. I couldn't hear him, and I ignored him anyways because I wasn't going to sub him out. It was just sort of like he was saying some things to me. I have no idea what he was saying. I was just sort of like, get spaced and play pick and roll. So, but in all seriousness, it's a hell of a road win. We have 2 road wins now. We've got 5 wins. It's just a really good step for this organization as we're trying to move forward, and we got a long way to go.
You spoke the last time you were here about how you still felt like the team was trying to maybe find identity or find how you kind of fit all together. Do you feel like you're closer to figuring that out now, and especially after this game?
No, actually I don't. I think we're 6 games into it. Like I said, we've connected a whole bunch of different ways. I think defensively we're starting to get where we need to be at times. I don't know how many threes they shot. It was more than we wanted. 36. Give them credit. We kind of knew what they were going to do on that, but it's going to be a work in progress. And we definitely have other scoring options and weapons, and us finding the balance when, Bryce is going and scoring, and, you want to keep DJ and Z and Flynn and, Isaac Humphries and these guys that all have different offensive roles. But what we have done is each game we've kind of found a different way to win. And I think that's really important as we are sort of forming our identity. And, they're kind of showing me how they want to play. And I think it's been obviously a lot of positives, and I still feel like we've got a long way to go.
See, Isaac had a fairly big night last time up here, and it was a bit quieter on this occasion. I think Taipans rolled out a bit of a kind of 2 big lineup with Marcus and Kyron Galloway out there at the same time. Did you feel like that caused some issues for Isaac at all while he was out there?
Yeah, it was just a different look because they flooded the paint a whole bunch, right? They were trying to get more length and just athleticism and things like that out there on the floor. The paint was definitely more clogged or plugged or whatever, just like my ears. But, like Bryce is open at the top. When Bryce is shooting the ball like that and he's open and he's making shots, the roller wasn't there, but they had a plan to take that away, which opened up something else. I think that is the sign of a good team to kind of figure out what the defense is giving you and find out what's going to work that night. As we go, we'll figure that out more and more, but we had some big shots by Flynn. There's a couple of free throws at the end, or Z didn't really have much going, but he makes the free throws at the end. I told the team, they kind of laugh at me, but they had such big guys out there flying to the boards that Flynn's 8 rebounds and DJ's 6 rebounds were huge. When your guards rebound like that, it's a big, big deal, and we had everybody in there trying to fight for those boards.
Russ, obviously a big night for you scoring the ball. You must be super pleased with how the game panned out from your perspective, scoring the ball.
I'm just happy we won. Me and Mike have talked before, and we talk about, through the season, obviously there's ebbs and whatever you call it, ups and downs. And sometimes a team is going to beat you and you had no chance really to win, like Sydney. But the ones that sting are the games where you control it and you let it slip. And that would have been one of these games. I felt like for the majority of the game, we controlled it. Cairns did a hell of a job clawing back, so that would have really stung to drop something like this on the road as well.
Sure, and as you alluded to, obviously, it was, you kind of had that kind of 4 to 6, maybe 8-point buffer for a lot of the game, and Cairns weren't quite able to, I suppose, overcome that. What kind of went into that from you guys' perspective, kind of keeping that buffer for as much of the game as possible?
I didn't feel like we had a buffer. We were trying to, bust the game open more, but they would keep hitting a tough three towards the end of the shot clock, or maybe we have a bad defensive breakdown and they'd make us pay. So we felt like we were the ones that couldn't quite get over the hump.
Yeah, I will echo that. I give them tons of credit because I felt like there was a few times when we would make a big bucket and get it to 8 that we just needed one more stop, and it just felt like, man, they got a layup and a foul. They got an open three. You give them credit for just kept making play after play after play. And then, for us, I give our group, this game to me was a little bit like the Tasmania game where we were going back and forth throwing punches, and you just need a stop or two to kind of get that little bit of a margin. Thank goodness for us, we were fighting on top. Right, I think it's always easier to be the team that's ahead. You kind of know what you need to do, and us sort of being organized in that moment with trying to run some offense down the stretch in a winning type situation on the road with a team that was playing as good as they'd played the whole game. Right, fourth quarter, and they made a bunch of big shots. So give them credit. I also give our guys a ton of credit to just hold the lead, keep holding the lead.
Coach obviously spoke about how, I suppose, he doesn't feel like you guys are any closer maybe to finding exactly how you guys want to play in your identity. What needs to happen from your perspective, do you think, to kind of get to that point where you really know what you guys want to do each time you step out on the court?
Just more games. Every game is different. You're faced with different scenarios, and those are things that you'll figure out over time. To be honest, you don't really want to have everything figured out right now because a team that peaks in the first month of the season, it usually doesn't carry over for that long. But as long as we can continue to learn and grow through wins, I'm happy to not quite figure out that identity just yet.
I think you're seeing the whole league try to figure it out. Like, we all want instant gratification and results right now. Brisbane loses a game to start the game, they go out and they get a heck of a win at Perth, Like, everybody is trying to figure their team out. We're all in the same place right now, or 5 or 6 through. We've been very fortunate to win ours while we're trying to figure it out, and we'll try to capitalize on that and build on that momentum as we, get a little bit of a rest here.
And we'll jump to Josh on Zoom.
Yeah, Mike, you talk about obviously trying to figure out the mould of the team, and obviously a really good win tonight, the way to sort of grind it out and fight it out. DJ has had a career low start to the season, I guess, this year, obviously figuring out how to play with Bryce, as well as that sort of 1-2 combination. What's the messaging to him to start the season so far?
Well, obviously, DJ's a huge part of what we do, and I've got to figure out more ways to get him involved consistently throughout the game. He's too talented of an offensive player. That's squarely on me. I totally recognize that. He's been super positive. I think he has been involved in every one of our meetings. He understands where we're at. Would he like to have more shots? Sure. It is called basketball. I always kind of kid about it, right? But it is called basketball. That means, it's not defensive ball. It's not pass it ball. Like, it's basketball. And he wants to score, and he's a really, really good shooter. And I've got to get him in positions to get that ball, whether Bryce is rolling or not. And it's the same thing with Isaac and Z. And we've got a bunch of talented guys. Tonight, Bryce put on a show that's one of the best in the history, probably, of the 36ers. I don't know what else to say when somebody offensively does what he did tonight. So everybody else's shot attempts are going to be less tonight. We didn't turn the ball over tonight either because we were shooting the ball. We had 4 turnovers, I think, for the game because we shot it. That's what we did. The ball was in Bryce's hands, and we made shots. So, there's a lot of positives. We won the game. We'll figure those things out as we go. I'm super excited, and I've also said, at the end, we want to be our best version of ourselves towards the end of the year, and we'll figure it out as we go.
One of those exciting pieces, I guess, is Flynn Cummins. You guys went very hard on him in the off-season and secured his signature as well. He must be wrapped with how he's playing, I guess, in terms of the importance with playing off of Bryce as well late in that fourth quarter there, where he was wide open on the three-point line in the corner there and nailed a couple of big shots. His importance, his impact has been crucial for the way you guys have started the season.
Yeah, I think that the sky's the limit for him. I'm super excited. Obviously, there was a focus for me to go find a bigger wing that could defend multiple positions and play different ways on offense. And that was before Bryce said yes. So yeah, but I would also say the entire group. I'm really, really excited about the group that we have. Everybody opted in. You know, it was a fun recruiting thing this summer. It's been fun to kind of see us work and try to figure it out. And you know, I'm really excited about the group. The Isaac Whites, the Matt Kenyons, what Z does for us on the defensive end, and the passing and the ball connection with Bryce, and still not like going and hunting a shot. Like, I have a whole bunch of different feelings about what he's giving to our team, and still he shoots the ball like 2 or 3 times a game. You know, everybody's figuring out different roles, but I'm super excited about the group.
Bryce, last one for me as well, mate. Obviously, congratulations on the massive game tonight. And watching you over the years, it's been incredible to see these type of performances racking up and these incredible numbers as well. You look like you're having so much fun. The team is playing as a team. You're all working for one another as well. What's it sort of been like, obviously, 6 games into the season in Adelaide colours?
Thank you, first of all. But yeah, I mean, what you see is what you get. I've been extremely happy since the day I came here, not just with the teammates and the coaches, but everybody in the Adelaide organization is amazing. They've welcomed me and my family with open arms. And it feels good, you know, to be in a place where you really feel welcome and wanted, and it makes you want to give it everything you got for everybody. So it's been fun, and obviously everything's a little bit more enjoyable when you're winning games.
Thanks, guys. Good luck in the game.
Well, and this one from Steve. Steve on Zoom.
Hey Mike, just last week, you've been around a long time and
You're saying I'm old. Is that what you're saying? I'm old?
you're on like
It's not a compliment, buddy.
I am as well, sorry about that. Bryce has pulled it, was actually the highest ever score by a 36er. It overtook the late great Darryl Pearce's record from 1988. That was when the games were 48 minutes long. Just FYI. How does this compare to some of the great superstars that you've been involved with in the NBA as well? Just when you see a performance like this on the sideline.
I just, well, obviously I'm a huge fan of team sports. I've been in team sports my whole life. I mean, I play golf a little bit in the summer, but I think in team sports, to witness greatness within a team sport, I don't think there's anything better. And, you know, what this guy's done for his career is pure greatness. You guys can debate where he's at. We're so fortunate that he decided to stay in this league. We're really, really fortunate that he's in Adelaide. I think he looks amazing in blue. I keep seeing it. And it was, you know, just to see him and get to know him a few years ago when we had him in Utah in a couple of 10 days and everything that he's accomplished, I'm in awe. I'm in absolute awe. He's the best player in this league. It's not even close. If he's in the league, he's the MVP every year. It just is. He just is, guys. I love it. I've been very fortunate, like you said, to see Olajuwon do some things. Charles Barkley's first game with us in Houston, he had 33 rebounds. That was crazy. Kobe's last game when he was with the Lakers, he put 60 on us with the Jazz in that last deal. Game 7s, but you know, when a player slips into the zone, and it's this early in the year where they don't really have their game legs under them yet, it's a really amazing thing. You know, I think players can slip into it easier later. There's the defense has got the full attention on one guy. It's harder to get open in this league than in the NBA because there's no defensive 3 seconds and things like that. The lane has always got bodies in it. It's a true credit for anybody to come even close to 50 in a FIBA international type game. So I just hope that everybody can really, really appreciate what this guy does. I truly, I love sitting there. I faked it out that I couldn't hear him when he was telling me something. I don't even know what he was saying, but I enjoyed it, and I knew he was gassed, but we were going to keep riding it, and we were going to win and lose it by getting him the ball and spacing accordingly. And then as this thing goes, we'll play different ways with whoever's hot. But God, we're just all so fortunate to witness that.